What's up, guys? It is Teach Me Tuesday. Buying a starter home versus your forever home. Do you really need to buy your dream home first? The answer is no, guys. That's one of the biggest misconceptions that's out there, to buy their dream home or to just wait and rent, and then once I got enough money, I'm just buy my dream house. But what I find is the people that buy the starter home first are in much stronger financial position later on down the road. And in this episode, we're going to talk about that. What's up, guys? We're back at it.
So,
Got the
so,
Canadians back in the building. Um,
oh,
so we're gonna get right into it, guys. How y'all been? Y'all had a great trip. Y'all want to tell us a little bit about it?
yeah, man.
So,
Hey, yeah, Canada was awesome, man.
okay.
Anybody who's never been to Niagara Falls, whether it be on the U.S. side or the Canadian side, I, I my strong suggestion is go on the Canadian side because there's
Okay.
so much to do and it's so beautiful from that angle. But yeah,
Okay.
man, we had a blast. Kids enjoyed it. It was truly, even though they don't stamp passports anymore, we found that out on our trip. I
At
mean,
this point.
maybe they still do, but they didn't stamp our passport.
Oh,
They
you want
just
the stamp? You want to get
yeah.
that
I guess you
stamp?
got to ask for it or something like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know, but
yeah.
yeah, it was
That's
our
true.
first time international, quote unquote. We've been to Jamaica, Bahamas, things like that, but international to get a. We was looking forward to getting our first little stamp, and ain't nobody stamped that passport, so that would be the
Mm,
only downturn to us
mm.
going over to Canada. But it was nice. We enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. All right. So
Yeah.
let's. So you about to say something, Sean? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say no, I was gonna say go ahead. Let's get into our topic. I know our 15 minutes go by so
I
fast
know.
Really.
I know, right?
once we start
So,
talking.
so, so let's define what is a starter home, guys. Let's talk about that. What is a starter home?
So, I mean, that's a good question. I think, especially nowadays with, the prices going up,
Mhm.
inflation, just everything being a lot more expensive. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times people don't even kind of have that mindset or that thought or that seed planted in their head, like, oh, I should just start off with, maybe something that I can just get into right now and then kind of work my way up to it. So to answer your
Mm-hmm.
question, a starter home is just kind of that. It's just the home you start with. So it's not your forever home. It's not the home you plan on living in until go meet Jesus one day. Like
Right.
it's not that. It's truly just a stepping stone to kind of help get you there. That's how I would kind of define, what a starter home is.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I think one thing that a lot of people struggle with, man, is people want what they want, and especially when they spending, a lot of money compared to what they were before, or they making a huge
Mhm.
investment. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
people
Yeah.
they think they should be able to, that their money should get them to Taj Mahal,
Mm-hmm.
and
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
when we talk about the true definition of a starter home, that may not be the case for you. Now, if you have Taj Mahal money, and that's what your ambitions and aspirations are, go for it. That dream home that
Mm-hmm.
you always wanted
Right.
is in reach. But we
Right.
talking about for the everyday, American, that's some living paycheck to paycheck, some um, you know thriving and trying to um, become more and more wealthier and build
Mm-hmm.
wealth. Man,
Mm-hmm.
finding that home that you can call home, something that
Mm-hmm.
that has four walls and a
Mm-hmm.
roof,
Right.
and
Right.
not run down. But yeah, I mean that's the starter home, getting in there and making it feel like
Right.
a real home.
Right. Right. Gavin, I agree. Let's just think about it like this. Let's say you got a list of items, right? Guess what? It might not check all the boxes. Okay. It
Mhm.
might. It might not have all the square footage you might want. Okay.
Mhm.
And this start, but because it doesn't have all the square footage or whatever, it's probably more affordable. All right. So, most likely, starter home is might be smaller. It's more affordable, um, easier to qualify for because of the lower price point. You know, and then like I said, purchase with the intention, okay, of hey, I'm I'm gonna get bigger and better later down the road, but this right here, this could give me and my family, or just me myself, a great start to a strong financial future. Okay, so
Yep.
uh,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, yeah. So, but since we're talking about starter home versus forever, what is the forever home? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, so the forever home, and I think before I kind of answer that, I was going to say too,
Mm-hmm.
of course, everybody's situation is different. Everybody's in a different position in life. Their
Mm-hmm.
family structure is different, things like that. Of course, I mean, I truly have Gavin and I have had clients. I'm real. I know you work with older clients. I've had people who are
Mm-hmm.
70, 80 years old buying a house for the first time or
Right,
either maybe
right, right,
downsizing or something like that, and so that may truly be their forever home, which is a
right.
home that you plan on pretty much staying in forever. You have no intentions on selling it or
Mm.
moving again or anything like that.
But you know what?
Um,
I'm trying not to cut you off, but I think the term, I think it's kind of interchangeable. I think the term forever home is it's somewhat seasonal. I think because I just think about us. I think we've bought in a sense two forever homes so far, and we aren't done buying forever homes. Like our first upgrade, we bought our first house, started a home, second house. Man, it got the square footage, everything we wanted. It was a nice neighborhood we wanted to live in. But then we was like, oh, well, we want to be in a different school district because kids now, and
Mm.
we like this neighborhood better. So then now the home we live in now became our starter. I mean, our forever home. And then you know what? Guess what? We really want a pool in the house that we have now.
Mm.
To put a pool in that backyard isn't because we're on a corner lot. We don't want everybody in our business. So
Mm.
you know what?
Mhm.
Now we may be in the market for another forever home. So I think it
Mm.
always can change, um,
Mm.
and it's interchangeable. So that was my little 2 cents.
Good point. I mean, you
Wow.
have a really good point there, Gavin. Thanks for bringing that up. I mean, at the end of the day, I know we talked about this before. I think people have to change their mindset a lot when they go into purchasing a home. A lot of it is strategy as well, and a lot of people don't think about that too. Sometimes people are just thinking about, the day to day, the right now, their current situation, what they need to kind of get done at the moment. So most people, when they think about housing, they're just really looking at it from an aspect of I just need a place to stay, I need a place to sleep, I need a place to raise my family, and that's it.
Right.
They're not looking at the strategy behind how do you once again use real estate, use home ownership to build equity, to build wealth, to leverage, to kind of get you and propel you into different, areas of life. People don't look at it that way. They're just thinking about it from that one dimensional I just need a roof over my head and I was paying rent, might as well pay, you know,
Right. Right.
mortgage or something like that. So
Right. Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So let's compare the financial differences between a starter home compared to a forever home. What are some of the differences? One of the biggest ones is affordability. Okay.
Right.
Mhm.
Most likely your forever home is going to be, it's going to be what you want. It's going to be all the bells and whistles, the
Mhm.
like the land, all the land you want, the
Right. Right.
backyard, the front yard. I'm working with a client right now, and it's so funny. After looking at a few homes, this will be a starter home for them. After looking at a few homes, they 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 accept it. It's like, man, I know, like in my budget, you know, I'm gonna have to sacrifice on some
Right.
things. I
Mhm.
can't. I want the big lot, but I also want the big house. Which one will I compromise on? Okay, your forever
Mhm.
home, you might not have to compromise on none of that. Okay, but for your starter home, you might have to compromise on what's most important. I mean, compromise on the thing that's not as important for you in that moment. Okay, so what about you
Yeah.
guys? What are some financial differences that you guys see in forever home compared to your starter home?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Do you want to take that one, Gavin?
well, just to piggyback and add to it, I mean, of course, when you look at the affordability comes, the for your starter home, you're probably gonna have a lower mortgage because
Mm,
you're
mm-hmm,
financing less money to buy that home. Um, and on the flip side, for your forever home, it may cost you a little bit more because,
mm-hmm.
but also let me say, everybody's forever home isn't expensive.
It's true.
Like you said, because you have people who live who are just um, who don't have family or who are living somewhere remotely,
Right,
away from
right,
family, things of that sort, and they just need the bare, the essentials. Um,
right. Right.
So there's there's the monthly payment. There's also the down payment. And
Hmm.
this is an important thing I want people to know as well. So of course you're going to have a smaller down payment the less you're financing, right? However, having the mindset of knowing that, hey, I'm getting in this starter home can lead to me have if you don't have, like, let's say you make the money. So a lot of people make the money, but they don't have the money saved to put
Mm.
down the down payment for that dream home that
Hmm.
they want.
Hmm.
And of course, there are programs and opportunities out there, but for the people who maybe a little bit credit challenged, who make the money to pay a $3,000 to $4,000 mortgage to get the dream home that they want right now, they can leverage what they do is if you buy that starter home and build equity from that starter home to then because if you have that problems or troubles with saving money, you've been trying to save money for years and you just can't save. Well, a mortgage acts as a piggy bank for you. It builds
Mm.
equity while you're paying
Right.
your mortgage. And guess what? In 2, 3, 4, 5 years, however long it takes, you've already built up enough equity to where, well, hey, I can sell, or I can just pull some equity from that home, from
Right.
the starter home I got, and now I can buy my dream home. Um,
Absolutely.
so that's one of the financial differences and benefits
Mm.
of purchasing that starter home first to get into your dream home down the road.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Right.
like that, Gavin. And I think once again, I think it just everyone has to kind of take like a self-evaluation, like I said, once again, of themselves and where they are in life and kind of, what's affordable for them.
Mhm.
And I think definitely for that, what I call that true first-time home buyer, because the definition of a first-time home buyer or the look of a first-time home buyer is changing so much.
Right.
With these new generations, a lot of I think there was a report that came out that said that the average age of a first time home buyer today in 2026 are pushing 40. Most of your like 20, like we bought our first home in our 20s. Like, so most of your 20-year-olds and even some of your 30-year-olds are not even buying a house right now for several reasons. We won't get into that, because
Right.
of the economy and just affordability, all of that stuff.
Mhm.
And so the age of that first time home buyer is a lot older. And so
Hmm.
with that, sometimes it's very hard when a person is almost 40 years old for them to just get into something to say they got something versus
Hmm.
someone that's like, oh, I want, like I say, people want what they want. They want, the pretty model homes with the nice countertops and, like you said, the yard and the square footage and all the things, because they also feel by the time you're 40, most people will feel like they're kind of at, in their stride with their career. They're kind of, making some money and, life is a little bit more comfortable. They're not kind of struggling and trying to figure out what they want to do with life. So you have a little bit more of a savvier buyer at that age that
Mhm.
may not be willing to, potentially settle for
Mm.
just to start a home. So once again, I think sometimes it's just you got to look at your particular situation, your finances, what you got going on, your lifestyle to see what makes the most sense. If you can't afford, that $500,000 house, that $400,000 house, then sometimes it's okay to get into a fixer upper. And like Gavin and Wilma and everyone said so far, build that equity until you kind of get to, the ultimate goal or whatever it is that you're trying to purchase, forever or something like that.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, let's shift gears a little bit. I want us to talk about like when buying a home, we talk about buying our forever home, buying our starter home. Let's think about, wealth building. Okay. How can
Mhm.
we use home ownership as a way to build wealth? I've been privileged to work with a lot of investors, and they utilize real estate as much as they possibly can to make income, whether it's monthly income or rentals, like the big checks with flips, or even from a tax shield benefit as well. So
Right.
I've been able to kind of see them work the real estate game in order to build wealth by saving money, investing money, and actually making money compound as well, when they're able to invest in a property, see the value, see a low value property, invest the money in it, know what they can force the appreciation to, and then sell it. Or they got a lot of different strategies out there. But let's talk about the wealth building aspect of it, guys. Let's talk. Go into more detail about that.
Yeah, I mean, I like that because I truly believe that what you're talking about, that's a true skill set, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Mm-hmm.
you have to be savvy enough to understand. I don't know who I was talking to, but I remember we was discussing, like you said, like taking something that's, let's say, very low in value and then turning
Right.
it into something that's of very great value. To
Right.
me, I think that takes a special eye of a person or a special skill set of a
Mm-hmm.
person to know how to do that because I'm not a visionary. I can't walk into something that's dilapidated and falling apart and be like, oh yeah, I'm envisioning this nice, great.
You
I
know,
can't envision it.
but you
I
know
can't see
what's,
it.
LaShawn, you know what's so funny about that? And it's not for everybody. Okay, I'm not speaking all females, but the females are the hardest to kind of get around, like the aesthetics. Like
Yes.
it's hard for them to see the vision. It got,
Oh
man,
yeah.
hey, it got to be ready. You know what I'm saying? When I walk in, I was like, oh no, I don't like that paint. I
Hey,
don't like that
but
carpet.
you know what's funny, Will, my man?
Uh-huh.
Man, ladies, not all ladies, but ladies put on makeup every day. You know, so
No, you
they,
didn't, Gabby. I
Where you
feel
going
so,
with that, Gavin? Where you
so
going? Where
all
you
I'm
going with
saying
that?
you
is they start with a canvas and then they beautify themselves to
right.
blossom or to present
Enhance.
themselves to the world the way that they want that image to bear.
Right.
Same thing with
Right.
a dilapidated house, man. You got
Right.
this thing that you want to
Right.
make up and then make it beautiful.
Right. Right.
Whatever. I
So
don't like that.
I think that's a good way to close this segment.
Right, right. That was a great segue, Gavin. What you just did. Yeah, we went through a few of these points, guys, about how comparing your starter home to your forever home. Don't get tied up thinking that you just got to go out buy your forever home. You got to go buy a mansion first. It's okay to buy your starter home and then work your way up from there because you're going to be in a stronger position long term. I see we got a comment. I didn't know if you want to comment.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So I know we kind of ran out of time, but I'll definitely. So yeah,
mhm.
so Jackie Clay 455 455 definitely was just kind of agreeing. They bought their first home about in their mid 40s. They sold it,
Mm,
and then they paid it off in 6 years.
wow.
Wiser second time around, and that's so true, so true. Thank
Wow.
you for commenting, Jackie Clay. Same with
Wow.
us. I mean, our very first home, like well, granted, we didn't know what we was doing, but our very first home that we bought, um, we sold it in what 5 years, and in
Mm,
that 5 years, we truly had like what 80 grand of equity in
Mhm.
wow.
that home. And that
Wow.
$80,000 allowed us to one pay off all my student loans. We was able to put a
Got
nice
the
down payment
car.
on another house, bought a new car. Like we did all kind of stuff that kind of just propelled us a little
Mm,
further in life, where we didn't
wow.
have all this debt, we didn't have all these other expenses anymore, and then we just kept building on that. And then we bought another house, took that equity, did something else. So we just kind of continued to leverage the equity that we built over the
Mm,
years through buying and acquiring real estate, to kind of help do that for us.
that's
So
good.
there's so much that we can do. So guys, our final takeaway is one is, if you didn't learn anything else from this, is that one, there's no right or wrong answer. Some people may need to
Right.
start off life depending on where they are with the starter home. Some people, if you're a little bit older in life and you know that, hey, this is it, I'm retiring, a forever home may be for you. But at the
Mhm.
end of the day, if you guys ever have any questions, if you ever want to know, what's the best strategy, how do I even start the process to buy a house, us right here on this screen, you can reach out to any one of us, myself,
Hmm.
Gavin, or Wilmot, and we'll be happy to discuss with you guys anything related to mortgage, real estate, investing, all of the above. We'll definitely catch you guys next week. Have a happy 4th of July.
Oh yeah.
And we thank you guys for tuning in.
All right.
So, bye.
Right.